Hey, welcome to the McNaughton Art Show. This is Jon McNaughton, and wow, doing this again already. Hey, we do this every Monday and Wednesday, and we talk about my political paintings, different current events. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And today, I've got all kinds of fun stuff planned. I'm going to tell you about a new drawing that I just barely put out there a couple hours ago, and talk about the new McNifties a little bit. I've done some drawing and sketches, so you can watch me doing that. And then we got a couple of current events we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead and get this going. Put up the first. Oh, hey, this is Seth, my producer. Hey, Seth.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Yep, Seth makes the magic happen.
Just imagine you do the paintings. I just make sure everything goes smoothly with the show. All right. So the last time we did this, we had so many comments and questions. We actually couldn't respond to them. So we're going to just respond to them, have Jon respond at the end of the show. If you have a question, send us a super chat via YouTube, and Jon will answer it during either his sketch videos or, like I said, at the end of the show. So apart from that, just enjoy. Jon's got a lot to talk to you about. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now.
There's so much, man. But anyway, I wanted to first show you this drawing I just did this today. I called this Great Again, and it's from my sketchbook. I like to take some of my sketches and make them available as limited edition prints. So today I put this up in an email that I sent out to my followers, and we did an edition of 50. They sold out in less than an hour. So if you get on my email list, you'll be aware of these new prints as they come out. I also sell the little original sketches. So there's people that collect those too. I've been doing these sketches like this for a couple of years now. And, this is how I relax, is by drawing different political figures that I find interesting. And some of them, like this one I did of Trump, I really liked the look in his face, because this reminded me of the way he was looking at me last Saturday when I met him for the first time. I mean, this is exactly what he looked like. I turned the corner, I was walking towards him, and he was giving me this stare like, who let you in here? And then as soon as I told him, hello, I'm Jon McNaughton, I'm the artist, all of a sudden his face changed completely, and he was just happy and delighted, and we talked for a few minutes. It was really nice.
Yeah,
that's why I did this.
I was telling Jon, this expression on Trump's face, like you can see the bald eagles shooting out of his eyes like lasers.
It was intimidating. He knows how to give that look. I almost wonder if he did it on purpose. I've got you can't see it, but I'm wearing a boot on my foot because I hurt my toe. So I come walking into that room with this boot on, and he probably it was awkward, but it was a great conversation. So I just thought I'd show you that. And at the end here, we actually have some video of me drawing the sketch. So that'll be fun to show. But right now, what I'd like to do is kind of shift gears and talk about the NFT project that I'm working on. And there's been a lot of talk about that in the last couple of weeks. They're called the McNifty Collection, the Trump Legacy Collection. And there's quite a few people that have got involved already. And go ahead and put up the first one here. I've just selected some random McNifties from the collection that stood out to me that I just wanted to talk about just for fun. When we started these earlier in January, I think it was mid-January. A lot of people didn't know anything about it, and we put it out there. I just advertised to people that knew me, and they shared with a few friends. So it's pretty much been an organic growth to this point. And we've already sold over 1,800 that have been minted. And each one of these is a completely unique and different piece of artwork, an original, meaning that there's no two that are the same. And each one is hand painted. In other words, there's every element that you see on here, I actually painted with my brush. So a little different than a lot of NFTs that you see, And if you're not familiar with NFTs, it means non-fungible token, um, which still doesn't mean very much to people that have never heard of it before. I'm not going to get into all the technical parts of it. I mostly want to talk about the about what I've done, what they look like, and the meaning behind them. But you see on the banner there, you can go to mcnifty.art, and there's some links on there to people. There's a good community that will walk you through it and explain how you get involved in these NFTs. So won't go into that much, but let me talk about this one up on the screen here. So this one has Trump kind of in that boxing position or dance position. I'm not sure. It could be whatever you want. Wearing the hard hat and the glasses, and he's feeling good. And behind him is the fake news media. And I wanted to make them look like clowns. I did a painting that was called "You Are Fake News," where he's standing facing all these clowns. And notice there's Jim Acosta, the right behind the right side of his right ear. He's kind of looking, got that sad face. There's all different kinds of clowns, but there's a guy on his right shoulder who's more of a controversial figure, and he's not wearing a clown face. This dude is George Floyd, who was a very controversial figure. He tragically died during a police arresting, and it became kind of the full on spark that led to all the rioting during 2020's summer. And so I put him in there. He's got flames over his shoulder, which represent that rioting. And so, Trump, there's a lot of things about Trump that happened during his time in office. And, some of these paintings have some meaning to them that you can extract and create a story on your own. But I think that's an interesting combination. Okay, go to the next one. All righty. So this one, you've got Trump holding up the serpent, which represents that this is the enemy of the republic. Anytime you see a serpent in one of my paintings, that's what it represents. And there's a lot of different types of serpents in these NFTs. And this one is a lot more aggressive. He's got this angry face. He's wearing the red mega hat, but it says "Let's go, Brandon." And who is just off of his right shoulder is Mr. Joe Biden himself. And of course, behind him is the painting called "Obama Foreign Policy," where Obama's golfing in the midst of a nuclear explosion and missiles going down. So, these paintings are kind of outrageous, but they have some very serious undertones. Okay. Thanks, Marianne. He's my favorite president, too. So here's another McNifty. This one has Trump in the bomber jacket, and he's holding the U.S. Constitution. He's giving the thumbs up. Behind him is Obama fiddling while Washington, D.C. burns. It's kind of a play on, how Nero fiddled while Rome burned. And if you look at the rooster sitting in the front, that's important. That's a symbol that, for me, kind of came from the Bible, where, Peter, when the cock crowed 3 times, that, that Peter realized that that he had denied Christ. And so for me, it means that America is in a state of denial and that we need to wake up. So it's an interesting metaphor. That's why it's in there. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one's just pure fun. During most of Trump's term in office, there was this constant witch hunt to try to take him down and impeach him. They impeached him twice, but never in the Senate. However, they really were after him. And if you look at the painting in the background, that's from my picture called Trick or Treat. And you can't see it, but I had Pelosi and Hillary. There's Kamala. They were the vaccines. There's the tombstone that says, "Here lies the truth." And of course, you've got on the other side, you've got Obama, little devil. But this is a cool McNifty. These are meant to be historic. These are meant to really capture our time in history, and this reflects that. So I think this is a good one. I like it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one's a really cool one too. This has a little bit more of a religious undertone. You have Trump wearing his "Great America, Make America Great Again" hat. And he's got kind of that angry face. He's holding the Constitution and the American flag. And behind him is my painting, Angel of Liberty. So you see the wings of the angel. You can't see the angel himself. Angel has a crown that says Union on it. It's based on a vision that George Washington supposedly had during the Revolutionary War that was recounted by one of his soldiers. So you have to decide whether it's true or not, but it's quite remarkable. You have the Capitol burning in the background, which some people have tried to connect to the January 6th. What happened there? Of course, it was nothing like that. But Judy says, "Jon, you're the best. Love the messages." Thanks, Judy. You're the best too. I know, Judy. So this painting to me, represents that God has a hand in our country. I've always believed that. That's why I did the painting "One Nation Under God," and I believe that he has a hand in Trump's involvement in this country. Now, some people will say, "Well, that's just ridiculous. Trump's not a holy man." Well, of course he's not. But a lot of times, I think God uses different people to, make a difference. And in this case, what Trump did for America is I think he made it easier for people to see the difference between the good and the evil. There's been a definite polarization, and some may say that's bad, but I think that people know where they stand these days, and that's important. Okay, go to the next one. Okay, so at the end here, when we're done, I'm going to talk about this painting. I'm going to talk about some things going on in current events. But when we're done, if you have any questions about the McNifties, I'll be talking about that while I do the drawing of Trump. I actually recorded myself doing the sketch of Trump that I showed earlier. So start thinking about what your questions are, if you have any, and I'll try to answer them. All right. So this picture I did last summer. It's called "Keep on Trumpin'," and it kind of reminded me of the title. It reminded me back in the early 80s, late 70s, that phrase, "keep on trucking," and that you had the picture of the guy, with the big feet. He's going like that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do a picture of Trump in this monster truck, totally jacked up, super American, flags, red, white, and blue. And he's doing the thumbs up. He's got Melania in the truck with him. It's just pure fun, and have him out in the desert. So I created this monster truck from scratch. I gave it the
when did you make this this painting?
Last summer.
Last summer. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember you saying, "No, I got to do this one. I got to do this one."
Yeah, and I never know how popular they will be. This one actually it was pretty popular. It was a good one, but it's a little more lighthearted than some of the other ones. But one of the cool things about it is the way you can't see it on the screen there, but he's running over a serpent. Again, there's that serpent metaphor. Yeah, he's squishing it. He's going to do a peel out. And, that represents the enemies of the country, those who stand between us and freedom and prosperity. So I like to put that metaphor in a lot of the paintings. And speaking of trucks, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, especially in Canada, involving trucks these days.
Yep.
So, yeah, Seth and I have been talking about it. And what do you think of all that, Seth?
Yeah, so there's you're referring to the Freedom Convoy in Canada right now.
Mm-hmm.
My family, we have a lot of heritage in Canada, and so we live in America, but we've been getting texts nonstop from friends and family that are up north, and it's incredible. It's inspiring. We've been following the news. Obviously, we haven't been following the corporate news because they haven't been covering it. It's interesting to see how the left is, where, oh yeah, we support workers, but they don't when the workers actually unite and say, hey, stop doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to us. The left doesn't listen to them. And that's sort of been a trait of the left, is that they pretend to support the workers, but when the workers are actually voicing their opinions about something, they ignore them.
But I love the way they kind of forced their hand, and all of a sudden you've got these thousands of truckers, and the people supporting them, the police, everybody, as they've just blocked off these huge, freeways and long distances in the cities. You've been really following this closely because you're from Canada, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, that they've been able to rally like that in a country that is so far gone into that socialist, communist, puke hole that you can see, and they're starting to listen to the people. I think that's just amazing.
Well, it's been fascinating to watch for, again, in Ottawa. I mean, they went into, the trucks went into Ottawa, and if you look on the map, if you pull up Google Maps and you turn on the traffic, maps, and you'll see all these red and closed roads and stuff. It's amazing to see. And now, that the workers, that the truckers have come in and they've done this, it's inspiring, because suddenly the politicians, they have ears and they can listen. Oh, well, maybe we should change stuff. And then there's the road that leads, basically, the road that leads from Idaho, Montana into Canada. Well, that's been blockaded by the truckers. And if you go online, you'll see the videos so there's police cars that are trying to get them out of there, and then the farmers' trucks, the tractors and stuff, go past them to go. It's like little reinforcements. It's amazing.
No, I love it. I love to see the people of Canada rising up. And Eileen made this comment down here that's coming to America, and I think that could be true. Just today I read that there was a Facebook group that had already had, what was it, 160, 170,000 people signed up before Facebook took it down, where they were talking about organizing a convoy in the United States to do the same thing. I mean, that's just crazy.
And I'll tell you, John, this is funny right now. Like, I'm operating the backstage, right, of all this stuff for you on Facebook and YouTube. All right. So all you people watching right now on Facebook and YouTube, like, I can see in real time, YouTube is throttling this video because they are saying there's ad suitability, this might be inappropriate, and all of the keywords and tags and titles that are involved in this, they're all having to do with this, the truckers, going forward and stuff. So it makes you think, like, who do they support? They clearly support anything that is on the liberal or the left agenda,
right?
A very elitist agenda, not a people's agenda. And it's fascinating that Trump was able to, being, as rich as he was, as famous as he was able to communicate with, people like truckers and things like that.
With the everyday worker, with the average American. That was part of his appeal, is he listened to the people and was able to say, or You know, he said what we wanted to hear, but when he was elected, I'm like, okay, is he really going to do it? And he did. You know, the
Yeah.
last person that was up here, I didn't comment, but you know, she's right. I think it was it Eileen that
Oh,
said it?
the Freedom Trucks, the
Yeah,
Shayla.
it's coming to America. Yeah, there she is,
Mhm.
Sheila. It's coming to America. And I see a painting in the works. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but there's going to be something with a truck.
Well, remember
Yes.
we had talked about a Trump painting one time, but I think it could apply to what's going on right now, where you just say it's the Great Awakening in a way, where it's the people. Instead of, we keep relying so much on a leader to lead us out of this, instead of, you know, being the leaders or being the people who stand up and say, enough, stop, you know, and it's been inspiring to see these truckers in Ottawa and Canada, throughout Canada. Here we've got this comment here. It says, in Alberta, the Leos asked for tow trucks. None will go help remove trucks, etc. They are with the people. I've seen
Yeah.
those videos. I've seen some police officers have, you know, said, and they're very tactful in their words. They'll say, we are being asked to tell you to move, you know, but they're not really backing it up. And then even the funniest thing was when they were asking for the tow trucks. They all through Ottawa, they were calling for tow trucks to come and remove the semi trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They'd call them up, and every single tow industry said, "Oh, we can't. We've got COVID."
Oh man. You know, the Canadians are doing it. They're doing it now. That's the kind of thing we need to see happen in our country. We got to stand up to these people on a mass scale. That's
Yep.
what we need. USA, USA. Love it. Hey,
All
put
right.
up
So you
that
had
sketch
you
of me
in
drawing.
honor. What's that?
Put up that where I do the sketch of me drawing Trudeau. Let's get
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
while we
Well, it was in
talk.
honor of the trucker movement. You have something you wanted to share with us. Let me get it right now.
What was that?
Oh, it was the sketch you did.
Oh, this one. Yeah. All right. So that is a beautiful sketch of a white piece of paper. Am I going to start drawing on here pretty quick?
Yeah, sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
That is a beautiful sketch of a, of a white piece
This
of
is
paper.
how they look when they start. Oh, you're going to say. So this was for my sketchbook. I had no intention of doing this to try to sell. Sometimes I just draw just for myself. And in this little video, I'm speeding it up 3 times the normal pace that it takes me to do one of these. So you can see I start with the eye and then kind of work my way out. And you know, I'm drawing Justin Trudeau. Keep that in mind. You know, this guy who's just kind of oh, I don't like to say mean things about people. I just draw and paint mean things. At least they think they're mean. I think they're truthful. Um, you know, when I was in junior high and high school, um, I was constantly drawing and painting. And if I had a teacher that was really obnoxious and rude, usually a substitute, wouldn't be uncommon to see a picture that I drew of him being circulated. And there were some of these teachers that called me McNaughty because I did that. And I don't know, I've got that kind of rebel in me. So, you know, I like to I like to draw and paint people that I both admire and that I don't admire. But I'd like to paint them truthfully, you know, as they are. And so I'm working down this sketch here. I did his nose, his mouth. And right now, Justin Trudeau's got this mustache thing going on. The funny thing, you know, at this stage, you're thinking that kind of looks like a very unattractive Jesus drawing. But it's him. It'll look like him when it's done. But you know, that guy has just been horrible for the Canadians. I mean, the way he's handled the whole COVID thing and just bringing them down that road of socialism like nobody's business.
Well, he's also expressed vocal and very well thought out support. Like he's sat down and he's written them out. It's not like off the cuff. he has expressed support for dictators. He said that China, he admires China for its basic dictatorship. That's a quote. And then he released a press statement from the official, Prime Minister's department in Canada, where he was very sorry that Fidel Castro had passed away, that he admired him. And it's shocking that he thinks these through, that this is good. Like he is someone who will basically say or do anything, as long as he gets to lick the boots of an authoritarian person.
Yeah, that's just disturbing, to say those kind of things about China and Cuba. I mean, don't the Canadian people have to notice that and say, how did we elect this person that has those sentiments towards, countries that really abuse their citizens? I mean, that's just insanity. I just can't even believe. But I mean, there's a lot of people in our country that think the same way, and we need to educate them. Problem is, we don't really control a lot of the education in America today, and very little of the media. So, what's the solution? I have my opinions. I would say, we just have to use whatever means we have to get the word out. For me as an artist, I use my talents to try to express the thoughts and feelings I have. We've got a lot of different conservative media people that are very vocal, using different means to do that. But I think that there's a good chunk of this country that is ready, just like the people in Canada, to stand up to these socialists, these communists, and just say, we're not going to put up with it anymore. Honk, honk.
It's been fun to see this guy who he talks a big game, but as soon as the truckers show up, he flees in terror.
In terror. Yeah. He's quite a piece of work. So yeah, I just hope that America will pull it together. The best way we do that is during elections, and we're trying to firm up the laws in these different states right now, so that when the election comes around, we don't have to deal with the same fraud that took place with the mail-in ballots in the last one. And I sure hope we can do that. So let's go ahead and go to the next drawing.
Okay, I'm pulling it up right now for you.
So while this drawing is going, if there's any questions, I'll answer them. Otherwise, we'll just chitty chat. So this is the Trump picture.
Oh, by the way, someone made a really funny comment. Remember how the video wasn't starting for us at the very beginning? They wrote
with the white screen.
It must be a Canadian whiteout sketch. I like that. That made me laugh.
Sense of humor.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska. I was born in Anchorage, and that's beautiful Alaskan Canadian landscape right there.
Yeah,
so
in the art world, we call that minimalism.
Yeah, you could say, if you were Hunter Biden, you could sell that for a pretty penny.
Oh yeah. I actually pulled up his paintings. I thought, okay, I'm going to have an open mind. I'm going to look at them. Go ahead and start it, and I'll just talk. I'm going to look at his paintings, have an open mind, and pretend like I don't know who did it, and I'll just look at them. So I started thumbing through his paintings, and a lot of them looked like they were done by some kid in elementary school. I mean, like with crayons or something. I mean, we're
talking about Hunter Biden's
Biden.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be rude. A lot of people that don't have any skill in art when they first start out, that's what they do because they don't know how to do it. It'd be like me trying to play the flute. I don't know how to play the flute at all. I picked it up. I'd be probably embarrass myself. That's kind of what's happening with Hunter Biden. I haven't mentioned this before, but when I was walking away after I met Trump, I heard him lean over to the person coming behind me, and he made the comment, well, that's no Hunter Biden. So I guess we're different. But if he piece of work, that's pretty impressive. Look how quickly the eyes come together in this drawing.
By the way, this is John. We've sped up the video so you don't have to sit through 45 minutes of him sketching. I mean, this is sped up how many, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, it's sped up. And I'm not trying to draw particularly fast when I do them. I just relax and try to capture the look, the proper shapes, the alignments, and I just have fun with it. And the reason I chose to draw this image is because this is how he was looking at me when I first saw him. And so it's like a memory, and for me, a lot of my paintings are all about memories of what's going on in this country. It's trying to capture the essence of the time in which we live, and that's really what art is about. An artist is expressing how they feel about what their life is. If I was a gardener, I'd probably be drawing vegetables and flowers, but I'm very heavily involved in politics and interested in things like that and different religious topics. So I tend to draw and paint that. It's exciting for me, and people that feel the same way get pulled into it as well. So, boy, look how quickly it comes together. Trump's got that very distinctive look. I've drawn and painted him so many times that I could almost do it blindfolded. I can feel my way through it, and sometimes I'll use a photograph as a starting point, and then I'll just sort of make it what I want it to be. Pushing and pulling and exaggerating. Trying to give it the feel that it needs to really accentuate the mood in the drawing. So here, it's just that very focused, very that kind of almost an aggressive look on his face. And it's a lot of fun. It's coming together pretty quickly. The going back to the McNifties for a second, it was really fun and challenging to try to give Trump a lot of different expressions. I think there's 5 different faces that Trump has in the collection, and that sort of makes it so that you don't feel like they're all exactly the same. I think there's 5 different bodies and all different kinds of traits, so each one is unique that way. Bald eagle with the stare. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, very focused. Yeah, the bald eagle, the way the eyebrow comes down.
Baldy with a bit of a comb over.
Yeah, a bit of a comb over. One of the pictures of the McNifties, I have that iconic hair blow where the hair was Trump's hair was blowing in the wind and it went way up. So I had to create that. And some people thought, well, aren't you being a little bit disrespectful to the president? I'm like, no way. It shows that he's standing in the storm, and the storm of opposition. So there's nothing is accidental, nothing is without purpose. And sometimes I share the meaning of that, sometimes I don't. It'll be interesting, over time as more questions come out and people are like, why did you do it that way? What is the meaning behind this NFT that you did in the Trump collection? Some of the things that we're looking at right now in the future is a Biden collection that will be mind blowing. I mean, you have no idea what's coming, and it will be a little different than the Trump collection, but it'll be similar in that everything will be hand painted, and there'll be lots of different elements and traits and things happening that will be both humorous and thought provoking. So here I'm laying in his coat and his clothing and trying to capture that gesture. These come together pretty quickly. I sold this original today too. Actually, when these went up on my website, they all sold out with less than a half an hour. That's typical for these drawings because I don't do very many of them. You'll want to make sure that you get on my email list so that you know about these things when they come out. If you go to jonmcnaughton.com and then just register, That'll put you on the email list. You can also, and I didn't tell Seth about this, so I don't think we have a banner, but you can go to a website called McNaughtonFreebook/2022.com. McNaughtonFreebook/2022.com, and get a free ebook. It's like 112 pages telling stories about some of my most famous paintings. And that's been very popular with people. But if you actually go to get that book, you register, and that's an easy way to get on the list so that you can find out when these are available. I also talk a little bit about the NFTs on there and other fun stuff. Yeah, thanks, Seth.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for, right?
Yeah, you're the man. So I'm putting some last details on the Trump drawing, giving it some life, making everything a little more balanced. I use a technique where I kind of cross hatch. It's an old master's technique, and it's kind of like sculpting with stone. Okay, here I am adding the words. I like to put different quotes with what they say. And this particular quote, me and only a few people heard him say it. He spoke to a small group in Conroe, Texas, only about 100 people. And he said, we will make America great again. And then he paused. Again, because we have to go back and fix everything that Biden did. So that was pretty humorous, maybe in the right circumstances. But there you go. Take a look at his eyes. There's the sketch. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and it's been fun chatting with you. And we'll probably do this again next Monday and Wednesday. Wednesdays are the days I like to get into the McNifties a little more, the NFTs. We can answer questions on those. Didn't have as many questions about that today. That's okay.
Oh, hey, we did get a sign up for your free ebook.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Sheila. Yep. Hope you like it. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us at the Patriot Art Show, the McNaughton Show, and we'll see you again next Monday.